ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these commandments I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live by my ways. Speak of them when you're home, when you're on your way, when you lie down and get up and go about your day, as a sign on your hand and upon your head. On the side of your doorposts, my commandments may always be read. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Vaed. Please remember, observe all these words that I've said, to live and be holy for years straight ahead. For I am your God, out of Egypt I led. Be holy, be righteous, remember the words that I've said. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Vaed. You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these instructions I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live, oh, to live and remember my ways.
ages represented all around you. See them everywhere, every street, avenue, or boulevard. Anywhere, any beach, any park, or any yard.
The door for generations and generations, and the door.
Ecclesiastes said one generation goes and another generation arrives. He got it wrong. For years we all live side by side.
Can you lean on those who arrived here before? Can you learn from those you remember being born?
Can you see that we are all together evermore?
The door for generations and generations, and the door. The door for generations and generations, and the door.
I don't know if you know this. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. The way to sit in the front row at synagogue is come late. That's what you have to do. Yeah, you guys can come up with just a little bit. That would be nice. There it is. Exactly. Since you're leading the service, you can do that. So welcome to Temple Emanuel. Friday night, Sidurim are under your chairs. This is Miles Platt. He's our cantorial soloist this evening. Also grew up in our congregation. Right, received that guitar for his bar mitzvah. So this is one of those great evenings that we will share together. Let's begin by singing from Psalms. How good it is that we're all together. If you're here, you can use a siddur, or you can, look on the screen to do that. Hine matov.
That's the one.
Umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov. Umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Let's do that again. Hine matov. Umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov. Umanayim how good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is,
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. Repeat after him.
How good it is. How sweet it is.
To be together on this day. Hine matov, hine matov, umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day.
How good it is. How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Let's move now to page 2. I'd like to invite David and Troy to come light the candles this evening. They walked here all the way from Palm Desert to be with us. Unlike the Israelites who have just spent 2 years walking in the desert to get to that edge, the edge of the land of Canaan, but we'll see what happens to them later on. So let's go to page 2. Here we go. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la. Let's try that again. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Eloheinu melech haolam asher kinishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. You may go back to your seats over there. Whoops. See, that's what the problem is with me doing this.
Yeah, I can do it.
As we continue to move towards welcoming Shabbat, we start just with a little singing to get our bodies going a little bit, and now we take a moment to think about our week. So I offer this poem before we meditate upon what happened to us this week. It is impossible to say that any 2 days are the same. Every day is unique. Every day has an imprint on the world. And this Shabbat is no different. Because this Shabbat arrived after 6 distinctive days, which came before. Beginning last Saturday when the stars first appeared in the sky, and ending as stars appear on the 6th day. So now we rest from those 6, and we celebrate victories and curse disasters and muse about lessons learned and nurse our wounds and move through the peace of Shabbat. And we take this moment in time, we take to reflect about how this exact moment in time is like no other that has ever come before. For in our minds and our souls is this past week, and it leaves us to think about it and to feel about it and to rest on it for this Shabbat. Chazarat HaShavua, a review of your week. Let's turn now to page 20. We continue to welcome Shabbat with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi.
לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבורך השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5 התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נקרא לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Please rise as we face the entrance to welcome in the Sabbath bride. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת We are on now page 28 for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. You may be seated at this moment. If it's for me, I'm in services. Let's go to, I believe it's 34 to 36, and we're going to turn to the Shema. And as we do, there is a tradition to close your eyes for the Shema, so if you don't need the words in the page, just kind of close your eyes and let's just take one little breath. And just feel yourself in your seat. The Shema is that prayer that just kind of ties us to everything, ties us to the chair we're sitting in, ties us to each other in this room. And energetically, we hope to tie ourselves just to the whole world at this very moment. Connect ourselves to something. So we sing the Shema to make that connection happen and to acknowledge the oneness of all things. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'en. We turn now to page 40, and we sing the song the Israelites sang as they were at the Sea of Reeds, Michamocha.
Yam bam bam bim bim bam, yam ba 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 bim bam, yam ba ba bim bim bam, yam ba 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 bim bam, yam ba ba bim bim bam, yam ba 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 bim bam, yam ba ba bim bim bam, yam ba ba ba. Mi chamocha barim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar bakodesh. Rati lo ose fele, no rati lo ose.
Yabba bim bam,
Ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam.
We go to page 44. As we turn to the prayer Ufros Aleinu, this is one of those moments, I feel like there's these moments where we kind of sink into something and then we kind of pull ourselves out and we sink down inside of ourselves and then we come back out and kind of in and out. There's this constant kind of motion that happens through the service, and this is one of those inward moments where we think about what happens when the sky gets dark and we close our eyes and we're getting ready to sleep, and it's the most vulnerable time of our evening and of our week, really, is when we lay down to go to sleep. And this prayer is an evening prayer that says, may I have a shelter of peace over me, kind of like a sheen around me that allows me to be the peaceful person I want to be, allows me to have peace inside of my heart, and kind of gets rid of whatever difficulties I've had over the week so that I can sleep and be rejuvenated for the morning. So it's just 4 simple words, the third line down. Ufros aleinu, sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu, sukat Let's go to Vishamar on page 46. We give thanks for Shabbat by singing these words from the book of Exodus. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Our thoughts turn now to those that we know who are in need of healing. The prayer is on page 253 of the Siddur. It'll also be up on the screen. There's a lot of reasons why people come to synagogue, and one of them is because there's people they care about that are in need. You want to come and gain strength yourself to go be with those people and to pray on behalf of all of those that need help. So I've got a long list here to read, and then I'll come around all of you here. I'll make eye contact with everybody, and if you have those in your family or friend circle that are in need, let's call their names out, and we'll gather those names as a community and pray on behalf of all the names called. Mishberach. Mishberach Avotenu Mikor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say Amen. Ida Akiba, Charles Aaronberg, Grace Blaustein, Marlene Breyer, Vicky Braslow, Jill Kahn, Eitan Chaim, Richard Chernock, David Childs and Ann Childs, Woody Clark, Jay Clement, Iris Cutler, Richard Dickies, Judy Fenton, Patty Goodman, Andy Hale and Helene Hale, Michael Yitzhak, Sis Klein, Kathleen Agnes McCarthy, Sheila Merowitz, Missy Piken, David Pick, Deborah Rhodes, Howard Rosen, Dorothy Salkin, Sandy Silas and Lindy Sobel, Mabuba Soleimani, McKenna Song Madakumbura, Medina Song, Bill Terry, Phyllis Torres, Irving Villasenor, Harava Harona Batzvia Yosef, Helena Wachtel, Paula Warner, Sonia Ann Weggy, Michael Wolin, Judith Bat Nechama Mordechai, and Howard Zellico. Sheberach Haimotenu
Mekor habraha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
So we've reached really the central portion of our prayers. We'll rise together to sing Adonai Svatai Tiftach on page 46. And then we'll go silent. There's prayers in the Siddur to about page 62. Prayers in your heart, there's no page for that. And when you feel like you're done with your own prayers, prayers in the Siddur, you may be seated, and then we'll continue on shortly. So please rise. Adonai Svatai Tiftach. Adonai Svatai Tiftach. Adonai Svatai Tiftach. Ufi Yagid Teilatecha. Ufi Yagid Teilatecha. We're going to end the Amidah with a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav on page, I believe it's page 60. Is it 60? Okay. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
I want to thank Miles. Oh, you're related to him, actually. You must have nachas today. I'll never forget when I went to Clark University. This is 1979. I guess I'm dating myself a little bit, right? I'll never forget I had a teacher, an acting teacher. His name was Ray Monroe. And if you think about it, this is like 40-something years ago, and I never forgot what he was talking about in this particular case. He was talking about like characters in a play or a movie or a TV, and that the question isn't, what if I were Romeo, right? Let's say I'm in Romeo and Juliet. It's not what if I were Romeo, but it's what if she were Juliet. And the whole idea was that we act differently depending on who we're with, right? You talk to your mother differently than you talk to your lover. I hope so. You talk to your child different than you talk to your best friend. And when you think about it, all the different people that you know, you're kind of a little bit different because you know how they will react depending on what you say or you do. There's kind of, it's unspoken, but you kind of understand who that person is, the things you can say to them, the things you can't say to them, the things how you want to interact with them. But it depends who we're with at any given moment that kind of makes us who we are. And we come up against this similar kind of understanding in our Torah portion, Shlach Lecha, this week. This is one of the great Torah portions in all of the Torah. Because if I were to ask you why the Israelites had to be in the desert for 30 days, it's not because they didn't have ways. It's not because they refused to ask directions. It's because of this Torah portion and this line that some say this line that I'm going to describe to you now. So, the story is we're right there. It's taken us 2 years. We're on the border of, the land of it, what will become the land of Israel. And God says to Moses, hey, send 12 scouts to scout the land, right? Go see what it's like. Are the cities fortified? Are the people nice? What's the land like? What's the fruit like? What is the area like? And why don't you go and check it out? Guess how many days they go and search over the land? Good Jewish Torah number? Huh? Don't be so shy. No, they're not away for years. The scouts go out. How many days? Has anyone said 40? Okay, he was in Torah class on Thursday. They go for 40 days. They're searching around. They're going around. As a matter of fact, they bring a huge cluster of grapes back. And if you've ever looked at the tourism in Israel, that's the tourist insignia, is these two guys carrying a huge thing of grapes. And that comes from this Torah portion right here. So, 10 of the 12 scouts that go through the land say there's no way we can do it. 2 people, Caleb and Joshua, say we can do it. They're the only 2 that make it into the land of Israel. Because those 10 spies said, or scouts said, we can't make it, God said, well, then you're never going into the land. And we're going to wait 40 years for an entire generation to die out. And your children will go in, but you're not going because you didn't trust that I could take you in. That's what God says to them. But why do they think they can't make it? Here's the quote. All the people that we saw in it are of great size. We saw the Nephilim there. Nephilim are actually kind of like god humans in a way in folklore. The Anakites are part of the Nephilim. And we looked like grasshoppers to ourselves. And so we must have looked to them as grasshoppers. That's the quote. At first, it seems like what they're saying is very natural, right? That people seemed really big, and we seemed very small in comparison. But it's that last line that's the difficult line. It's not the problem isn't that they saw themselves as grasshoppers. The problem is, it says, and so we must have looked to them like grasshoppers. That's the issue. Here's what Menachem Mendel of Kotsk, one of the great Hasidic Rebbes, says about this. Quote, we looked like grasshoppers to ourselves. Wait. Where is it? We looked like grasshoppers to ourselves, while this is possible to understand, so we must have looked to them. What is that? What do you care how you appear to the eyes of others? That's what Menachem Mendel of Kotsk says. What does it matter the way other people see you? The Kotsker Rebbe points this out as the reason all of the Israelites weren't allowed to go in. Not because they saw themselves as grasshoppers, but because they assumed that those people saw them as grasshoppers. They had such little faith in themselves that they believed everyone to be faster and stronger and bigger and more powerful and all of that stuff. And they thought everyone believed that about them as well, right? They look out there, they're like, oh, they're bigger, they're stronger, I'm tiny. Everybody knows that and everybody sees that. I can deal with the fact that they say they look like grasshoppers. But this idea, again, that they are putting this on another person, it almost like it creates two fronts that they're fighting against, right? They're fighting against themselves and their inner voice, and they're fighting against themselves and an outer voice that they might not even know is true. And it's not easy because it's hard to overcome inner doubts. But you can overcome inner doubts. I do this all the time. I'm sure that some of you out there suffer from some inner doubt or a negative voice that's inside of you. But the moment we believe that others see our faults the way that we see our faults, I think that's when we're doomed. We're just in big trouble. So there's another famous phrase that I think has to do with this from the same guy, Menachem Mendel of Kotsk, who's also called the Kotsker Rebbe. He says, quote, if I am because I am I, and you are because you are you, then I am I, and you are you. Did you follow that? Okay. Want to say it again? If I am I because I am I, and you are you because you are you, then I am I, and you are you. No. But, he continues, if I am I only because of you, and you are you because of me, then I am not I, and neither are you, you. Right? We all have that inner voice that creeps into us every once in a while. It sows seeds of doubt. But that's still you. Right? You're being you at those moments. I think it's healthy, right? I mean, we have to have that point and then we come out of it and we can reach heights. It allows us to overcome fears. It allows us to strengthen our identities and the way that we think about ourselves. But if our actions are based upon the way we think others look at us, by the way, we just think it. We don't know it for sure. So if we are doing everything because of the way we think others look at us, then we're not ourselves anymore. We become image of ourselves defined by a projection onto others that is merely a reflection of the way we think about ourselves. It's one thing to interact with another person based upon an established relationship, right? When we can assume, as I said at the beginning, the way someone's going to react, like a best friend, even an enemy, we know they might react to what we say. But it's quite another to base your actions on something only perceived to be true, that we have no idea is true or not. You know, as an aside, there is this concept actually that even our thoughts, the things that are telling us that we're this or we're that, those are just rumors as well. Think about it. They're just rumors. They might be true, the things we think about ourselves, or they might not be. They might be somewhere in between. So let's make a deal, okay? Although it's probably better not to do this, doubt yourself all you want, okay? You can continue doubting yourself. I'm giving you the permission to do that. And beat yourself up, right? Call yourself a grasshopper. Question everything that you do. We can discuss how you can help improve yourself and overcome your own fears. You know, meditation is a nice way to do that. There are other ways that we can get into that. Coming to synagogue, of course, is one way to help yourself. But how others see you and what they think of you, leave that to them. Because if you project it onto them, it's just you again doubting yourself a second time. And in the end, let's take the Kotzker Rebbe's rhetorical question to heart. What do you care how you appear in the eyes of others? Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's go to our final prayers. It starts on 282. It's Aleinu. If you're ready and willing and able, please rise. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. 287 והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated for a moment. We turn to page 294. We turn to page 294 for Kaddish Yatom. First, I'd like to recall those in our congregational family who have died in the last month, whose families are observing Shloshim. Harold Lawrence Sokoloff, Gloria Boraz, Warren Roston, Dr. Irene C. Casorla, Dana Maltz, and Deborah Rhodes. Is there anyone here observing Shloshim in the first 30 days that would like to stand and tell us who they're here to say Kaddish for? And is there anyone here observing a yard site, the anniversary of a loved one's death? If you'd please rise and tell us who you're here to say Kaddish for. And if there's anyone in the first year after the death of a loved one, in that first year period, that would like to rise and say the name. We especially remember on this Friday night Shirley Bruder and Irving Krieger, Edie Friedman, Muriel Krieger, Saul Kluger, Irv Sobel, and Minnie Rubin. So let us rise together and we say Kaddish Yatom for all those names called, but we also say it for those that have no one to say it for them. And we say it for those that were lost in the Holocaust, those that were lost during COVID-19, and those that have died in the violence of recent times. We say together, if we look up on the screen, you can see the names of all those in our congregation who have died at this season. So let us say together, Kaddish Yatom on 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'l'olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kedusha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'miran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring harmony to all of us and to the whole world. And we say, Amen. You may be seated.
What do you call an ounce of mince?
An ounce of mince?
Announcements.
Announcements. We do have some announcements.
I learned that at Jewish Sleepaway Camp.
Whoa. First of all, tomorrow morning we are celebrating the bat mitzvah of Maisie Myers. She's one of the three that's on that screen. You can guess which one, and that'll be lovely. We'll start with kind of the way we start all of our Saturday morning services, and then we'll move right into her bat mitzvah, where she will be studying Shlach Lecha. We'll have to see what she says about it. Next, we have 1LAIAF. 1LA is an incredible organization that we work with our, that is really our biggest social justice arm, that, and it is a very large organization that works with faith-based institutions all over Los Angeles. We've been working with them for at least 20 years. And on Sunday, June 25th, we're actually having a little discussion with Katie Yaroslavsky. I'm going to be there. I'm one of the people asking her questions, along with Rabbi Dara Frimmer from Isaiah. So please join us for that. That's on Sunday, June 25th from 2 o'clock. You'll hear more about it as we get closer. But 1LA is one of the great organizations in this city, and I encourage all of us to participate in this. And we do things all year with them. As a matter of fact, if you were here for the Songs of Freedom, St. Bridget's Church is through our relationship with 1LA. That's how we got to know them. So it really leads to some wonderful relationships. Next is, Simply Shabbat, July 7th. If you see up on top, that's Leora Alban, our new associate rabbi. Her first real service will be on July 7th. So we're announcing that so that people can come and give her love. So join us then. You know me and the Cantor, so I'm not going to announce who we are. And we have Bim Bam Family Jam. Look us up in that picture there. That is Miles when he was not wearing a more formal clothing as he is this evening, or a talit, or yeah. So if you know anyone that is aged, I don't know how you can be age 0, maybe like age 0.1 through 4. It's really pre-readers. Come join us on a Saturday morning and bring the little kids, and it's a lot of fun. And we do want you to register for that. Next, that's Mazel Tov to Maisie Myers. She's a dancer. Just telling you that just because I know it. Again, next, That's it. Summer.
Yeah.
Right? Let's end our service with Oseh Shalom. If you want to rise, put your arm around the person next to you. If you don't know them, introduce yourself. We'll do, the Jewish swaying while we're singing. If you look, nobody's going to be swaying the same way, but that's okay. I'm used to it. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Baruch atem bavoachem, baruch atem betzeitchem. You are blessed as you came into this house, and may you be blessed as you go forward. Erev Tov and Shabbat Shalom. Let's thank Miles. Give him a Dumbledore clap.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.